Delighted to welcome on to TalkingBrawls MMA.com. This man has a really big fight coming up at BAMMA 24 in the 3 Arena right here in Dublin on the 27th of February. And that is Rhys McKee coming off a spectacular debut, pro debut performance against Johnny Jitsu, John Redmond, back at BAMMA 22. I think it was June. Is that right? Was it June?
Every time.
It was June, yeah. Rhys, first of all, great to have you on the show for the first time. How are you, my friend?
Yeah, good. Thanks for having me. Yeah, it's good to go on the show. Finally, I've been listening for a while now, so good to be here.
Good stuff, man. Appreciate that. Rhys, I just want to go back a little bit, obviously, to that night, and obviously, I spoke to you after the fight, and you were elated, obviously, you know, making your pro debut on a week notice, going up the weight to 170. Just talk to me about the emotions of that night. It was a crazy, crazy night for you.
Yeah, it was unbelievable the way it all came about and stuff, and that year. All leading up to BAMMA, basically, I was looking to go pro, pushing the coaches, and it basically just wasn't happening. So I kind of took a seat back and said I'd enjoy Christmas. And then next thing you know, I got the text from the coach asking would I fill in at last minute, and I was all over it. So the way it played out was kind of like a fairy tale. So it was cool, it was perfect. And then obviously the way it went, like it couldn't went any better. So yeah, it was perfect.
And we know your coach, obviously, your next generation, Rodney. One of the most experienced guys and knowledgeable guys in the scene here in Ireland. What was the process to make that decision and to take the jump at turning pro in such a short space of time?
The process, well, as I said, I was basically asking to go pro for a long time. Like, it was no secret that I wanted to go pro, yeah. And then he was like, just wait, play your time. And then basically the minute I stopped thinking about it and harping on at him about going pro, the minute he texted me, like, how fit, he actually texted me how fit I was. And I goes, I'm reasonably fit. You always know when he asks you out, there's a fight coming, so you maybe bluff a wee bit too. I always said, yeah, I just said I was fit, and then he said, what about BAMMA next weekend? And I accepted it, and then he told me who it was. It was kind of surreal because like who John Redmond is and stuff, but
there's a bit of a backstory as well with John Redmond, because I think the first ever MMA fight you were at, I think it was John was calling out Chris or something like that.
Yeah, me and my brother were at a show, and Cage Contender 2000, I think it was 2009 or 10. It was a long time ago, and then this guy stood up, and I remember he was wearing like a bright red tracksuit. That's how I kind of remember. And Chris Fields was fighting at the time, and it was John saying, "I want you," or "I want the belt," or something. And like that's my first memory of John. Like, so to fight him and stuff, it was cool like that. But it's a cool story to tell that way.
Definitely. Do you think the defining moment was really that Battle Zone fight and championship tournament? You know, I think it was the 4-man tournament, and that was my sort of, you know, I was incredibly impressed with your performances that night. Was that the defining moment, do you think, in Rodney's mind, that you were ready for the turn and to go pro?
Possibly, because like the amount of work I put into that tournament, and like not a thing went wrong. There were like literally not a thing went wrong. So I'm sure when he's seen like how hard I worked and how serious I took the sport, especially like it was I had a lot of weight to cut for that fight and stuff. So like I know he's seen it all. So I'm sure like that was like, right, this kid's taking it serious. So he's trying to get paid for it in a way. So.
What was it like, you know, going in that night to the cage in front of 6,000 fans as well? You know, you're a young guy. You 20 yet?
Yeah, 20, just 20. That was actually my birthday week. So it was when I fought John. Rodney actually said it was a birthday present.
What was
at the time, like, but it was a lot to take in, but
was it almost better that you didn't have time to think about it and you got to jump straight in there, really?
Yeah, I think so. Like the whole week I didn't have time to think about a fight. I was trying to get blood tests sorted and medical tests and my CFMMA, so like literally didn't have time like to sort any of that. Like the day I got all my results was the day before the weigh-in. I was scared in case I didn't even get them, because if you don't get them, there's no fight. Yeah. So I was just happy it all planned out. And then the first time I thought about the fight was as I weighed in and stuff like that. That was the first chance I actually had, so it definitely benefited me. There was no sleepless nights, weeks out.
And was there any pre-fight? Well, obviously, there's going to be pre-fight nerves, but you know, going into the cage, the atmosphere as well. Take that into consideration, because I'm sure You know, it's probably a very valuable way to make your pro debut in front of such a big crowd, because it's going to prepare you for the future. And you know, being on a big stage, a loud crowd and a big atmosphere.
Yeah, like, I mean, obviously you've always got your nerves, but like everything was going at 100 mile an hour, and like I just took it in my stride, and like I realized it was my chance to shine. So I couldn't think about nerves too much, or I would have missed the opportunity. So yeah, I just had to roll with it, and it just worked the way it did.
And you're a guy we know, as you mentioned there, you were hassling at Rodney to let you turn pro for quite some time, and you've had a lot of amateur fights behind you. How important is that for a young guy? And we see a lot of guys, I think, nowadays, you know, making the transition too soon and too quickly. Absolutely hugely beneficial for your evolution as a fighter and a mixed martial artist, turning pro at the time you did with all the amateur experience you have behind you.
Yeah, it's invaluable. It really is invaluable. Like the stuff you learn, like, even from my first fight up until my very last, I was always learning something. Like even if it's something like learning how to breathe better during the fight. I know that sounds silly, but it's something people don't take serious. Or there was fights that focused too much on who was there watching. Like, do you know what I mean? It was all everything. Like everything added to my skills for when I turned pro. So like definitely recommend getting like 10+ amateur fights. But then there's it's not to say there's anything wrong with if you're ready when you've had 5 fights, but it depends totally on the individual. But I would recommend like we had 10 plus kind of fights.
And you mentioned there about the mind, and you know, knowing that you're ready for the big show and to go pro. You've had a mind coach as well. You mentioned that to me after the fight. I think SLM Design, I think it's Lee Morrison that is your mind guy. For a young guy to take on a mind coach as well, you know, for me it's very impressive. You conduct yourself very impressively. For me, for a guy your age, how crucial and beneficial has that been for you? You know, even in making that adjustment to go pro, that you've had that mind coach.
Lee's been massively beneficial. He actually had a kid there very recently, a newborn, so we haven't had the chance to work as much as we normally would. But Lee's kind of gave me the skills. Well, he gave me the skills a long time before my first BAMMA fight. How to do it on my own, kind of how to like look at like set goals and all that, and meeting goals and stuff. So like it'll be no different in mine this time. But like I think a lot of people see it as a weakness that if you're bringing in someone like that, but it's not like that. It's just another part of your training, just like your strength and conditioning, your boxing. It's no different. So it's an aspect that every fighter should look at, and it's not a weakness. It's just basically making you a stronger fighter and stronger human, even outside the cage.
Has he given you little things you can work on? Obviously, with him not being around, and to implement and to put into place ahead of this fight.
Oh, massively! Like he's got wee programs and stuff that we do, and like a lot of it is about meeting goals and like setting targets and then rewarding yourself for those targets, and do you know what I mean? It just makes you be a bit more productive and timekeeping and stuff like that. It's not all MMA related, like a lot of it's to do with my personal life as well, so it's been hugely beneficial.
Talk to me about the team you have down there. We know Norman's there. We know Alan Philpott. We've Andy Young. We've your good buddy Mark, who I believe you're very close with. You know, what's it been like coming up as a martial artist underneath Rodney? And I believe you just it's a lot like Paul Redmond up here in Team Rhino. You just went in to sort of keep fit in the off season from playing football, I think it was. How important has that team been for you as a person more than anything, and as a mixed martial artist?
It's been second to none. Like they're more than a team, really. To be honest, like we've came like if you look 3, 4, 5 years ago, we're all in the same circle now.
Yeah.
Like we're just at a higher level. That's the only difference. Like we got on the same. Like we're all, do you know what I mean? We all slag each other. We have the jokes, blah blah blah. We go out together and stuff. So like we're more than just a team. But obviously, when it's time to work, we put the work in. So it is, and that's why we're like one of the best forces there is. And then especially Mark, like because me and Mark are similar age. Like we used to work together in a sports shop and stuff like that. Like it's a funny story, and we like obviously met in our pro debut on the same night.
Yes.
Me and Mark are very close, but like we're gonna show it and let it shine on 27th.
You said to me yourself and Mark are, you're coming to take over this year on the UK and Irish MMA scene. That's your plan. Starting off with Paul Lawrence. We know Paul's, he's sort of a gritty, he's a strong, tough guy, sort of in your face. We know your style. You're a sort of a rangy fella who's good to go anywhere, really. We saw that against John Redmond. You have a decent chin on you as well. What are you expecting from him in this fight?
I'm expecting Paul to bring the fight. I'm expecting exactly what you said, a tough, gritty fighter, but like it's no secret of our styles, like what the game plans will be. Like I'm sure I could say exactly how I think the fight will go. Do you know what I mean? Paul's going to try and bring it, and so am I. I'll meet him in the middle, and we'll see who goes first.
Can't wait for it. We looked at his last fight, and you're a guy. You've been in these tournaments, as we mentioned, the Battlezone Fighting Championships. 2 fights in one night, 4-man tournament. You've had a lot of amateur fights. You seem to be very comfortable with your fitness. Paul tired a lot in his last bout. He looked very, very tired. In my opinion, I think it was in the National Basketball Arena here in Tala. Is that something that you're going to focus on in this fight? Is to potentially, wear him down, get in and out, sort of grind a little bit like you did with Paul Redmond in the 3 Arena?
Well, like I seen his last fight against Masuku, but here he took it on 3.5 weeks' notice. But to be honest, I'll not be looking to grind anyone out. I'm looking to get in and out as quick as possible. Like there'll be no stalling the fight or grinding it out for me. I'm going straight for the finish. But I mean, like if that's what it comes down to, like fitness will never be a problem for me. Not a chance. Like we work too hard in the gym and we train all year round, so there's no issue in my cardio. So if that's a weakness of his, I'm sure we'll soon see it. But I believe he'll come prepared and ready. So I wouldn't expect him to be fading, especially a big opportunity like this in the free arena. So I wouldn't expect him to fade. But we'll see.
He's never fought in front of a crowd that's. I think it's going to be. I think we're going to have a similar sort of crowd as we had last time. And we mentioned you made your pro debut there. Do you think that's going to play a significant factor in the fight?
Yeah, I've been here before. Like I've been here against like the guy that was meant to destroy me, the guy that was meant to maul me. Yeah. All the fans against me. Well, against me before the fight, after they were all my friend. So like it's no difference. It's no difference for me. So. Did
that really get under your skin the last time? Because we saw on social networks, there was some people going, why is Rhys taking this fight? Why is he stepping up? And it's sort of you can put your 2 fingers back up at them now after the fight and go, I proved you wrong. Are you sort of, is that your mindset and mentality? Is it sort of you against everyone when you're in the octagon?
It was when I fought John. It was, but like I mean, it was a good mindset to have. It was just like no one matters here really, bar my team and me. And I suppose that is my mindset now. But I mean, the support I have is a lot different this fight. A lot of people aren't ruling me out, and they shouldn't. But if they want to have a go at that, that's fine. Again, I'll continue to prove them.
It's a difference. Is it a different sort of pressure almost going into this fight? Then making a pro debut. I don't really feel the pressure. I feel in the last fight I was just getting ruled out. That was it. This fight got more. They're saying it's more an equal fight and stuff, but zero pressure. It's all like literally all I care about is myself going into the fight, and I don't care what anybody else thinks. Like whether they think I'm going to get finished or I'm going to finish him, or no difference. It's going to play out the way it will. And I want to ask you something, Rhys, as well, and we sort of touched on it off air a little bit. What's the story with the team captains? I know obviously 2 very big names, Tyrone Sponga, sort of a legend of combat sports and whatnot, but he's going to be captaining the Irish team. I think it's a little bit strange, and we're going to have Luke Barnett captaining the English side. Have you been told, Anthony, by BAMMA what the guys are going to be there for? Are they going to be in your corner or what? Because I'm sure Rodney wouldn't want Tyrone Spong hanging around the corner on fight night.
They'll definitely not be in my corner anyway, but I've actually BAMMA haven't said anything to us about it, but I'm kind of putting 2 and 2 together and guessing it'll only be concerning the main card. Yeah. So I say that'll have no part to do with me, but they'll definitely not be in my corner if that was to come up. Like, no offense to them, I'd like to meet Tyrone Sprong and stuff like that, but like as far as doing corner, if that is what they're planning to do, it's idiotic. Like there's no need to be in there. They don't know anything about the fighters. But I mean, it'd be cool to see them on the night. But bar that, I think it's just a publicity kind of thing. So
yeah, I'm presuming it's just going to be more of an ambassadorial role, a representative role for the two nations. So hopefully that's the way it's going to go down. I presume it will. So going down the line there, let's look at it for you. You're back at 155 now for this fight. Do you feel as though the natural progression for you is at 170? You know, down the line as you get older, as your body maybe develops a little bit more.
Down the line, yeah. Like I mean, I didn't cut any weight for the John Redmond fight, and obviously that was at 170.
Yeah.
And then the last time I actually had a cut weight was for 145. So I feel like my body's had a big rest from cutting weight. That's why like, I'm very light now. Like 2 weeks out from my fight at 155. Like I mean, I can make weight on Friday here if need be. So for now, 155 is very good as long as I'm not cutting weight a lot of times throughout the year. But 170, I'd say within the next 2 or 3 years, yeah.
And you know, we look at 170 and 155. You had your pro debut, as we know, at 170. Do you feel a power difference?
No, I feel it carried over. I feel my power carried right over. But I believe when I fight at 155, people will be shocked at how hard I hit.
Yeah.
Like first shot landed in the John Redmond fight, people seen it, he wobbled. So I believe at 155 I'll have one of the biggest powers about. So, but people will just have to see it. But at 170, no, I don't feel out of depth at all.
Being a young guy, just want a couple of more things, Rhys, before I let you go. Just being a young guy, and we see all the the problems with weight cutting issues. Do you think now, especially more than ever, that guys, especially coming up off the amateur scene, need to give their body more respect in relation to weight cutting? Because you're a guy, you moved up in weight class. Obviously, it wasn't detrimental to your body in cutting weight, but there's a lot of guys, yourself, that are cutting huge amounts of weight, even just coming out amateur level, even at amateur level. What's your thoughts on that? Being a young guy, especially, just after making his pro debut, what advice would you give to guys?
Well, to be honest, if you asked me a year ago, it would be totally different. I used to think you had to cut big weight. When I fought the Battlezone tournament, I cut 12 kilo in 6 weeks. Like that's a lot of weight. Do you know what I mean? So, I've done it on wear the t-shirt, and I definitely don't think weight cutting's a big advantage as I thought it was, and it's stupid for your health. It made me kind of hate MMA for a long time. It kind of made me resent weight cutting, and I think that's why now I'm so kind of anti-weight cutting and trying to get my body down naturally to lower weight or moving up or whatever I want. But I definitely think fighters need to be smart with what they're cutting and what they think they can cut, more to the point, because when you got your sweatsuit on and it's 24 hours from weigh-ins and you realise you can't make it, then it's too late. You've already messed up.
Yeah, I could do cutting a few pounds. But listen, Rhys, I do appreciate the time. Just a couple of more things. Any final words for Paul Lawrence ahead of this bout at BAMMA 24 and the 27th?
No, it's been pretty quiet now, but we'll meet in the middle and we'll see who rocks first. But I know it won't be me. Definitely,
it's a fight I think everyone's looking forward to on the scene here in Ireland. It's definitely one of the sleeper fights to watch out for in this card, because an absolute barn burner on the 27th. Rhys, anyone you'd like to give a shout out to, anyone you'd like to thank before we wrap up the interview?
Just all the boys, all the boys from the gym, all the sponsors, all the family and friends. Yeah, just everyone. I can't say anyone, or I'd leave someone out. So
you'll get in trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
Rhys, what's your Twitter handle so the guys can hit you up on Twitter?
Rhys McKee, just keep it simple, capital R, capital M, capital K.
Rhys, it's been a real pleasure having you on the show. I'm looking forward to this fight on 27th of February in the 3 Arena. I'm looking forward to catching up with you then.
Yeah, see you soon. See you after.